Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So recently I took training to qualify as armed security in my state. And today I want to bring you along on the process and show you everything. Aero Security gave me permission to film the entire day, so I want to take you along and show you where I succeeded and where I failed a few times. So like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and let's get into it. So the appointment was at 7 a.m., but I'm pretty punctual, so naturally 6 a.m. is when my morning started. We got there as Aero Security was setting up, and it was a pretty cool morning. It did warm up later in the day. We got to our shooting tables and started prepping our weapons and ammo. We then took a roll call, and you would actually be surprised at how many people were still showing up during roll call. And at this point, it's probably 7:30, 7:45. So one of the first things Aero Security did was take us through dry fire practice, and they said that they do this to weed out any possible issues. Even though you are supposed to come to this training fully prepared and knowledgeable about firearms, there were people that showed up unprepared. I wouldn't call myself a professional when it comes to firearms, but it was impressive who was showing up to this training and their level of competency.
Watch the magazine right here. You can keep your thumbs pointing the same direction. Very good. Okay. Fingers stay off your trigger till we are ready to fire. Ready to shoot. Okay. When you guys go down range, you guys are out there and you put your finger on the trigger, you might get about 2 warnings. After about the 3rd warning, off the range. It's a big safety issue. Out of the 20 plus years that I've been doing this, I've only had one student who actually had a negligent discharge inside of a holster. Okay? Keep your fingers off the trigger. Okay? I want y'all to make sure safety is number 1 out here. Okay? Don't do anything stupid out here. It's even up here on the side.
So at this point, Aaron, one of the instructors, is personally coming over and checking everybody's firearm and everybody's belt to make sure that there's no ammo when we go to dry fire.
No ammo on you? No magazines? Okay. Go ahead, pick up your weapon. Oh shit, you got 6. Good! Throw a weapon. Squeeze trigger. Squeeze the trigger. Holster. Ready? Gun! Draw weapon, squeeze trigger. Rack slide. And holster.
Now, this type of training I don't normally see in an armed security guard training. And I think it is one thing that sets this company apart from others and more prepares the average armed security guard for what to expect on the job. There are some other ways to get this type of training that are probably more expensive or non-existent anymore. However, I think the new way to get this type of training would probably be using a virtual reality headset and the game Tactical Assault VR. There's a lot that you can do inside of that video game and a lot of ways to train. Also quite a bit cheaper than the equipment in front of me.
The shopping club.
Help, my boss is being held captive. There's an employee that has a gun. Help him.
Okay.
You guys got a lot of trying to get ripped off. You know what time it is.
Weapon down! Put the weapon down!
What's going on, man? You did not work your first.
Alright, man's weren't bad. Fired 3 shots. You grazed him. Then you barely missed him. And then you got one through his hand into the body. That's the shot that actually put him out, okay? Those two are just slightly off, okay? Your commands were good. What did the girl say at the very start of this thing?
She said her boss has been held by gunpoint.
Right, help, there's an employee with a gun. And then you walked in the building with your weapon holstered. Alright? If somebody tells you there's a dude inside with a gun, trust that there's a dude inside with a gun, right? Before you walk through that door, your weapon should have been out wherever you were looking, it was looking, right? Because otherwise, if he happens to be right inside the doorway, you're in serious shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. This time I'm going to give you a partner. You and your partner are responding to shots fired, active shooter in the building. Shots fired, active shooter in the building. Women down! Drop the weapon! Okay. How many shots fired?
I don't know.
Good fucking answer. Alright, first shot, you're engaging the guy to the left. You're a little high into the wall. Then you're just off to the side into the wall. Then still into the wall. He's moving fast.
Yeah.
Alright, and then another one. So the guy ends up shooting the hostage. Your first shot, you get him in the ear. You trumped him. Your next shot, you are good center mass hits, but what's Diblio wearing?
He's wearing a vest.
Right, that's why he's still not out of the fight at this point.
Right.
He gets another shot off on you. You put one into his shoulder, into the hand, body, and then one up. So you're getting them, but
Trying to move up to the head.
yeah, they just weren't being effective. That was the main issue there. Right? So you didn't engage this guy while you could have still saved the hostage, but that's okay. Because the reality is, if you're not 1,000,000% sure, I'm going to press my trigger and I'm going to flip this dude's switch, right? The best thing to do is don't freaking shoot. Because if you miss him and hit her, you're licking jelly on a thunder to cast crack for the next 30 years in prison, right? So, good choice there. The only thing I'll kind of ding you on with this one, and it's not really a ding, because we don't teach it in this class, it's something we teach in our SART, active shooter arm response training course. You got two guys going into the room at the same time. Did you hear what your partner said?
Cover right.
Cover right, cover right. That means I'm going to go in the room, I'm going to slice left.
Right.
You're going to come in the room, you're going to slice right. It also means I own everything on the left side of the room, you own everything on the right side of the room.
So I'm not even looking at that.
Technically speaking, you shouldn't have engaged the guy on the left.
Okay.
And the reason we do it is twofold. One,
I wasn't watching.
exactly, if we're both fixated on the dude on the left, nobody watches the dude on the right. The other reason is, if I go in and I go left and I'm going to engage the guy on the left, and you go to engage him, and I do something like this to get a better shot, you might end up popping me, right? But otherwise, that was pretty good.
So while I was editing this video, I noticed right here, if I would have paid attention to my sector, I had more meat to actually end this threat and maybe save that hostage's life. If I hadn't come in and immediately focused on the guy shooting at my partner, I might have been able to do something useful. At this point in the day, it was time for the range waiver and the written test. This written test is actually comprised of pretty much all of the same questions you get in the online portion. So if you did well online, you should have no problem with the written portion. If you do not pass the written test, you will not be able to move on to the shooting qualification. So definitely take your time and think about all of your answers so that you pass this with flying colors like I did. So the shooting qualification is what I was most nervous about. I'd never done anything like this before to be graded on. As required by the state, this course of fire starts at 15 yards and moves all the way up to pretty much closed distance. We had 50 rounds to practice and 50 rounds to qualify, and they needed at least 35 rounds in the gray portion of the target that we were shooting at.
How do you see the paper target? You see the gray? You got to get 35 rounds in the gray. Anything outside the gray does not count.
So you eagle-eyed viewers will notice that I have now thrown on my plate carrier. Up to this point of the day, myself and a few others noticed a lot of pucker factor stuff happening before this portion of the class. So I asked if it was okay to grab mine, and Bill said, train as you would do as you train. Word to the wise.
Done. Fire! When I say ceasefire, what does it ever mean to everybody?
Stop shooting.
Stop shooting! Done. Ceasefire, ceasefire.
I noticed two different types of individuals out here on the shooting line. Those like myself who were trying to graduate from unarmed to armed, and those that were maybe from other states or within the same state, but trying to re-up, basically keeping their armed guard license. If you get the chance to do a training like this, I highly recommend talking to the folks around you. I met with a couple of guys that were veterans in this field, as well as veterans from the military, and they'll tell you a lot of things about getting into this work that you might want to know before getting into this work. There's definitely some hard days that you can look forward to depending on where you take this job.
Oh, you know what the problem is? It's a fucking thing. Ceasefire, take a look at the position. Alright, shooters, when they're ready, you're going to fire 3 rounds in 7 seconds and hold to your weapon. 3 rounds in 7 seconds and hold to your weapon. Ready? 7.
So I did pass, and in case you're wondering, that is what my passing target looked like. Not great, and the guy next to me on the right had a way better grouping than I did. So now the instructors are grading our targets. They're making sure that we have the right amount of holes where they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, not everybody passed, but as long as you show up to a class like this competent, you should have no problems whatsoever. Now, at this point in the day, I thought I could relax a little bit. I passed the written and I passed the shooting qualification, but now they take us into the classroom and they explain what can happen if you get into a self-defense shooting, and I'm so glad that they did.
If you do get involved in a shooting, on duty, off duty, whatever, is shooting people legal? Sort of. Nah, not really. It's always a criminal offense unless you are justified. You get to decide if you are justified. County attorney, or a jury, if they decide, the county jury is like, ah, let's take the trial anyway. Then it's a jury that's going to decide whether you were or were not justified. So it's a very good likelihood that if you get involved in a shooting, you are going to probably need an attorney. An attorney costs a shit ton of money. And that's why I bring Dwayne out here. Dwayne's with US Law Shield. They've got a program that will actually provide you an attorney. So basically, right, if you end up getting involved in a defensive shoot and you have to use self-defense.
Thank you. Yep, don't forget your iron drum.
This portion of the class was meant to give us more tools to survive a gunfight. They wanted to make sure that we could maneuver, get up, get down, give commands correctly, and make sure that we are sufficient guards. A class like this gives you the opportunity to do things that you will not normally be able to do at a regular shooting range, indoor or outdoor.
Unsupported, okay? So if you're right-handed, all you're gonna do is you're gonna pull the weapon, right, put eyes and ears on. Eyes and ears, everybody. All you're gonna do, you're gonna draw, drop the weapon. All you do is quickly if you can, don't sit or go. Do that shit, okay? It'll take forever. Get those rounds off as quickly as you can. 2 shots, hit the body. Okay, 1 hand, okay, 2 shots, center mass, 1 hand. Last minute, there you go. 1 hand. Everybody ready?
Everybody ready? Charged up.
Gun! 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 Ready? Gun! Sliding right. Failure drill. 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Failure drill. Don't forget your voice commands. Ready? Gun! Gun! We'll go to the other side and we'll just work everybody in.
Now, this portion, you get to see me really poop the bed. And I could have taken this out, but I didn't want to, and I left it in on purpose because it's pretty much what my channel is about. Making sure you get out in your kit, train, make sure that it fits right, make sure that it works right. And you'll see in a moment, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is the instructor showing us what this drill is supposed to look like. He pushes you forward, you go forward. He pulls you back, you go back. And you're supposed to get all of your rounds in the center of the target and drop a mag, put a new mag in, and while you're reversing, still putting rounds on the target.
Every fucking round hit the body, okay? That's what it should look like for all of you. You don't have to be pretty, it needs to be in the body. You need to make sure you hit your target. Remember, every round you miss, it's Uncle Jones sitting in his fucking wheelchair or whatever you just killed, or some school kid playing on the school ground, okay? We don't want to hit innocent bystanders. We want to take our bad guy out, use those voice commands. Slow, deliberate, quick, fast. Make those shots on target. Everybody got it? Yes, sir. Okay.
So first, I'm gonna let you watch this clip and then we'll discuss after.
Did you get that? Drop the weapon!
So here's why I left that clip in and why I say to train in your gear. If I would have had that happen while working on the job because I'd never put my stuff on and knew of a problem, that could have been my life. My magazine was being pre-released before I even had the chance to draw the gun, and I didn't know why this was happening. When I got home, I was doing some dry fire practice and was able to replicate the problem and found out the holster was just too tight in that area. So I'll say it again, put your kit on and train in it all the time.
You're not turning your target into Swiss cheese. You need some practice, right? Every single round you missed, killing innocent bystanders out there.
July! Be lucky you're not doing it in August! It is 85 degrees. Got 2 orange buckets, put it all in there. If it didn't grow there, pick it up.
And with that, they got us our paperwork, we filled it out, and they sent us on our way. I thought that this was a great course. The online portion and the in-person portion, I would highly recommend. So that's it, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I will see you guys next time.